What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. We got some new news about the stimulus check. Are they going to pass it by the end of the week? We got some new words from Mitch McConnell. We got some new interesting stuff here for you guys today. So let's get right into it. Okay, remember how we talked about how Mitch McConnell, the leader in the Senate, the leader of the Republicans, has not been in the negotiations with the Democrats? Well, apparently his own Republican colleagues are criticizing him and wondering why he's not in these negotiations. As you can see here, McConnell's decision not to participate directly in the talks that are on the Republican side are Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows has struck some of his colleagues as odd. Senate Republicans say Mitch McConnell has proceeded cautiously because any deal that emerges is likely to divide the Republican Senate, and they note that McConnell has made it a practice in recent years to avoid taking up issues that divide the Republicans if possible. You got 20 Republicans who are not on board, aka they're not going to vote for any stimulus package at all, said a Republican senator who requested to remain anonymous to discuss why Mitch McConnell is keeping his distance from the talks. He says, "You have a lot of conservative folks asking, what are we doing here? Is this really helpful? We're saddling the next generation and the next generation with huge debt." And they say, "I don't think there would be anything to be gained if he were to go out on a limb and endorse this or that." But the funny thing is, Mitch McConnell has endorsed an extension of a $600 per week unemployment extension that possibly might not happen. We'll talk about that here in a second. Mitch McConnell did come out and say that he predicts a new stimulus package relief deal in the near future. And if you know Mitch McConnell, he's very tight-lipped about everything. He doesn't say anything about what's going on or what he thinks will happen. This is the first time he's said this, so they must be very close to a deal, or he would not have said this. He's never said this before, so they got to be very close. McConnell says there is a desire on the part of both the Democrats and the Republicans, at least most of the Republicans, not every single one, that we will get to an outcome because the economy does need an additional boost until we get the vaccine. And this is very interesting. He's going against his own party here, or at least some of them. McConnell made it clear that he does not agree with fellow Senate Republicans who say that Congress shouldn't pass any additional aid since at least $1 trillion from the previous relief packages have yet to be spent. Mitch McConnell said that the Senate can actually go home next week, even though he said they'll be in session next week to vote on the next stimulus package if it goes into next week, which is kind of weird. McConnell said on Thursday that the Senate will technically be in session next week, but signals he's letting the senators leave Washington until an agreement is reached on the next stimulus package. He says, "I will not be adjourning the Senate for our August recess today, as has been previously scheduled. I've told Republican senators that they'll have a 24-hour notice before a vote. But the Senate will be convening on Monday, and I'll be right here in Washington." As you may or may not know, on Monday, the Senate is scheduled to start a month-long August break and will not be returning to Washington until September. Now, during this break or this recess, some think it's a vacation, they're supposed to all go back to their own home states and work on issues in their state, for their people. But they don't always do that. But it's interesting to say that they're going to receive a 24-hour notice and then they're all going to have to fly back to Washington to vote. You would think in this day of age, they could just jump on a Zoom conference call or video in, give their vote to somebody that works in their office and present the vote for them. Of course, they'd have to make sure they give the actual vote and don't change it. But you would think they would be able to do that in this day and age and not have to fly back into Washington just to say yes or no. Everybody is expecting the next stimulus package to pass very soon we thought it was going to be by Friday. We're going to have to see. It's going to come down to the wire. They may have to extend it into next week. And this is just like, it's so funny how politicians are. They wait to the last minute to pass stuff like this. And it's just like, man, we could have did this a month or two ago. But anyways, as I was on this screen, I just noticed this breaking new information here that Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, I'm from Ohio, I'm from Northeast Ohio, tests positive for the virus ahead of a Trump visit. Oh my God! Governor Mike DeWine tests positive for coronavirus. Oh my gosh, I feel like I like Governor Mike DeWine. He's a really cool person. He's like me. He's just a straight shooter. He's not all Republican, all Democrat, even though he is a Republican. He just says things how they are, not, political BS. I feel like he's really a straight shooter. I feel really bad for him. I wish him a quick recovery because, man, that really sucks. Okay, so what do we know about the actual stimulus check? We're pretty confirmed that it's going to be $1,200, and the part we don't know yet is about dependents. We know that all dependents are going to get a check. Whether you're a child, whether you're an adult dependent, a college student, there's going to be millions of Americans that get a check this time being a dependent that didn't receive it last time. I've been hearing mostly that the dependents are going to fall in at $1,200 also. So a family of four, with two children would receive a $4,800 check, which is a pretty good amount. But that detail is still to be ironed out, along with the unemployment. The unemployment has just been big, massive news this week, the unemployment extension, on how much it's going to be. It's been a back and forth battle about this. And initially, we thought it was going to be $600. Mitch McConnell actually told reporters that he was okay with a $600 unemployment extension. We don't know the duration of this. I think it's most likely going to be till the end of the year. I mean, we're already into August. We got September, October, November, December. That's 4 months. I mean, it's unlikely they're going to do it. December just sounds like a nice round number. The Democrats are for sure going to want it until the end of the year, if not more. So I think the most likely is going to be December 31st to do the $600 unless they do an extension. But we've recently been getting this $400 number, and they're going to extend it at $400. And President Trump actually talked about it. I'm going to go over President Trump here in a second. It's going to be either $400 or $600. If I was a betting man, I'd say 99% certain they're going to extend unemployment at either $400 a week or $600 a week. And if I was also a betting man the second time around, I'd bet more on the $600 per week because McConnell said he's open to it. And there's a lot of news like this that the Democrats are saying there will be no deal at all unless the unemployment is extended at $600 per week. There's a lot of news like that they won't go for anything less than $600. And the Democrats think they're holding all the cards on this deal, especially with this deadline. It's a gamble. They could always negotiate down to $400. That's still an extension, but I think most likely it's going to be $600 per week. We're going to know here very soon, possibly by tomorrow. A lot of this reasoning from the Democrats is that we now have 20 weeks in a row where there's been over 1 million new unemployment claims per week. Just this last report that just came in, there's 1.2 million new unemployment claims that came in within the last week. So we're still very deep into this. And if this stuff continues, we'll probably see even more stimulus in the future, possibly before the election. Also, I just want to thank all you guys so much for your love, support, and comments. We had over 800,000 people watch our videos in the last 48 hours alone. It's been amazing. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for your supportive comments. When you get that many people that watch your videos, even if you put imagine 800,000 people in a room. 99% of you guys are positive, and then there's always those negative people that are just so negative. And I actually want to thank you guys for like jumping to combat those people. But you just got to remember there's always negative people in the world, especially when you're dealing with this amount of people. So I just ignore them, ignore the haters. I advise you guys to do the same in your life, because there's always negative people. There's always people that are going to think you can't succeed. With all my past businesses in the past, there was always negative people that thought I would never succeed. So ignore the haters. Also, one of the funny comments I got in the last 24 hours, I'll pop it up here if I can find it. We're getting thousands of comments every single day. Was that this room was a green screen, which means like if you think about a news reporter, with the weather in the background, they're like pointing at a screen and there's not actually a real background. Well, this is my office in my home. These books are real. I can pick up this book. If you guys know, I've been changing this sign. I got this Thor's hammer here. All this is real. This isn't actually a green screen. I can actually, let me move this chair out of the way here. Grab the subscribe pillow. So this is actually my real office. So anyways, I just want to thank you guys. Make sure you've subscribed. The funny thing about YouTube is 99.5% of people on average don't subscribe to a channel. My average is actually about 2% of people subscribe, so only 98%. So if you've been watching my videos, make sure you subscribe. This way you're more likely to see my videos in the future and you won't get left out by the YouTube algorithm, because the algorithm decides what videos you'll see and what you won't, or which ones you can actually have the choice to click on. And this video over here is my newest stimulus check video. You can watch that next. And over here's a video about how to start a business selling products on Amazon. I teach that to people that enroll in my program. So you guys can watch that next if you're interested about that. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, guys. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.